Mmm, yummy. Let the chaos begin. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Heather and as always I'm reading with a vengeance, and as always I hope you are as well. If you're an OG watcher, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new to my channel, a very warm welcome to you. I'm happy to have you here. I hope everybody is doing very well. Today I'm going to talk about 6 books that are on the horizon. There's 6 books that I found, I think in like a newsletter that I found at my library, that are new releases that are coming out in November. Yeah, I just wanted to share them with you. I will let you know what the covers are going to look like and what they're about and the date that they come out. You may or may not have already heard about these books, but c'est la vie. Let's get into it. The first book that I want to talk to you about is called The Last Party by Clare Mackintosh. I have read a couple of Clare Mackintosh's books. I believe the very first one and my favorite so far is I Let You Go. I absolutely love that book. It had not one, but 2 gut punch twists in it. Really enjoyed that one. So when I found out that she was coming out with a new book, I was very excited about it. This is marketed as a mystery thriller, and it looks like it might be the first in a detective series. This book takes place, I believe, somewhere in the UK, and it centers around a neighborhood, and there is a New Year's Eve party, and Reese is the host of the party, and at midnight, Reese turns up dead, and by the morning, all of the party guests are suspects. Enter Detective Constable, I believe is what DC stands for their police force in the UK. DC Fionn Morgan. She lives in this neighborhood, so she has kind of a connection to this case, but she is in charge of investigating this case and finding out who murdered Reese. Evidently, the detective knows all of the people in the village, and there are secrets that are uncovered, including secrets that DC Morgan has herself. I guess it just goes from there, and it just sounds intriguing to me. I like a good murder mystery and thriller story. Hopefully it'll be a start of a series that I want to continue with. If you're somebody who likes a murder mystery, if you are looking for a detective series to start, this might be something that you are interested in as well. The Last Party comes out on November 8th. The next book that I am excited to get to is Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. This is a memoir by Matthew Perry, obviously, by Matthew Perry, who, as we all know, was Chandler on the TV show Friends. I absolutely loved Friends. I've watched the show in its entirety multiple times. I kind of went through my 30s with the characters on the show. We're all kind of the same age. Not only that, but when they did the Friends reunion, I think anybody who watched that could see that there was something going on with Matthew Perry. And while I don't typically read celebrity memoirs, this one I'm just interested in just for those reasons. You know, I loved the show, I loved his character, and I am intrigued to find out, you know, kind of what happened to him and his experience behind the scenes at the show and his relationship with the other actors and actresses on the show. And I just recently read a fantastic celebrity memoir, Storyteller by Dave Grohl. I don't know when this video will be published. I don't know if I've already talked about it. So sorry if this is a spoiler, but I absolutely loved that memoir. So I'm not saying that I'm going to read all the celebrity memoirs, but this one I am intrigued by. If you like celebrity memoirs, this one will be coming out November 1st. The next book I am excited to get to is Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. Say that one 5 times fast. Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger. Now I have another book by Lisa Unger that's actually on my shelf that has popped up in my books of want to read previously, maybe more than once. It's a book called Ink and Bone. and I just haven't gotten to it yet. And to be completely honest, I don't think I have read a Lisa Unger book, but there's something about this one that just piques my interest. This also is marketed as a mystery thriller, which is my bread and butter. It's not all I read, but I do gravitate towards mystery thrillers. This one centers around Hannah, and Hannah is invited to stay at this cabin up in the woods. Her brother has rented this has found this luxury cabin to rent. So it's going to be Hannah and her husband, Hannah's brother and his girlfriend, and then another close friend couple of Hannah's. 6 people, 3 couples in this luxury cabin in the woods. And all of a sudden a storm is moving its way in. I guess it's moving so fast that they can't leave the cabin. So they know they're going to be trapped in this cabin while this horrific storm comes through. And then I believe somebody is murdered. But then, you know, you've got these people who are kind of in this claustrophobic environment. Secrets come out. It's revealed that people aren't who they have been believed to be by their close friends or family members. And I just like the idea of this setting for a thriller mystery. So again, if you are in the mood for a thriller mystery, if that's your jam, if that's your cup of tea, this book comes out November 8th. This next book I'm excited to talk about is a little bit different for the genres that I lean towards, and this is The Wilderwomen by Ruth Emmie Lang. This is marketed as a contemporary fiction with some fantasy / magical realism elements. But the reason why it sparked my interest is it centers around 2 sisters. And I have read quite a few books that have a sister relationship at the center of the plot, and I absolutely love it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't have a sister. Maybe I've always wanted a sister. I read Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. Absolutely loved it. The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter was so good. I could probably go on and on, but that's not why we're here. That's the reason why this book intrigued me, was the sister relationship. Well, what else is it about? Well, so the 2 sisters are Zadie and Finn. They're estranged at the beginning of the story, and also at the beginning of the story, their mother Nora goes missing. What you, I think, learn about Zadie is she can see into the future. So she's got that special gift. And then Finn has a special gift of not only does she have a really good memory, but she has the capability of remembering other people's memories. While they are estranged at the beginning, when their mother goes missing, Zadie and Finn come together to try to find their mother using their gifts. And then I imagine that you are going to go deep into their relationship and how they get along and how they get through this journey together. And it just sounds fascinating to me. I think if you like women's fiction, if you like sister relationships, if you like a mystery, if you like a little bit of magical realism involved in those other things, I think you might like this one. The Wilderwomen comes out November 15th. The next book I am excited to get to is The Personal Assistant by Kimberly Belle. Yes, you guessed it, another mystery thriller. This follows Alex. She's a young woman. She lives at home with her husband. After posting some unscripted family moments, some candid family motivational type photos, things to that nature on social media, she unwittingly becomes an influencer. And kind of overnight, it becomes her full-time job to be this social media star. And since this becomes such a big endeavor, she hires AC as her personal assistant. But then one day, I think a post goes viral, but in the worst possible way, and things go terribly wrong for Alex. And when she reaches out to AC to kind of help with damage control, she's nowhere to be found. And she becomes a missing person, and the police start looking at Alex and her husband. While Alex's life is imploding, things are just being made worse by her personal assistant, who had access to all of her secrets and all of her personal business. You know, she's missing, and Alex and her husband are in the hot seat regarding AC's disappearance. What intrigued me about this is just the relevance of, social media and all that entails. I don't know how I would handle being an influencer. While I do operate on social media, this is a hobby for me. And so many people are influenced by, and I guess that's why they call them influencers, but so many people, they just take their cues from people on social media platforms. And I think it can be dangerous sometimes, not necessarily physically dangerous, but just dangerous in many other ways. And so I was fascinated by the premise to this story. So if you are also intrigued by the phenomenon that is social media and blogging and influencers, and you like psychological thrillers, this one comes out November 29th. And finally, the last book that I am excited to talk to you about and I'm excited to get my hands on is None of This Would Have Happened If Prince Were Alive by Carolyn Prusa. Full disclosure, this one intrigued me initially because of the title. I grew up with Prince. I absolutely love Prince. I shed a tear when he passed. I love his music. I think his music is timeless. So that was my initial spark to this book. But then I read the synopsis to it and it sounds like an absolute hoot. This is a debut novel. When I read the synopsis, I couldn't help but think of, this sounds like Carl Hiaasen. And if you've read Carl Hiaasen, you'll know. It sounds like kind of slice of life out of a character who is quirky and just when things go wrong, they go really, really wrong, but they have this quirky kind of upbeat, funny way of handling things. Now, for this one, I'm going to read you the synopsis because I just don't think I'll do it justice. It does say perfect for fans of Maria Simple, who wrote Where'd You Go, Bernadette? I love that book. Also for fans of Jennifer Weiner. So here's the Goodreads synopsis. Ramona's got a bratty boss, a toddler teetering through toilet training, a critical mom who doesn't mind sharing, and oops, a cheating husband. That's how a Category 4 hurricane bearing down on her life in Savannah becomes just another item on her to-do list. In the next 48 hours, she'll add a neighborhood child and the class guinea pig named Clarence Thomas to her entourage as she struggles to evacuate town. Ignoring the persistent glow of her minivan's check engine light, Ramona navigates police checkpoints, bathroom emergencies, demands from her boss, and torrential downpours while fielding calls and apology texts from her cheating husband and longing for the days when her life was like a Prince song full of sexy creativity and joy. So it just sounds super entertaining. It sounds like it's going to be laugh out loud funny. Day in the life of craziness. I can't wait to get to it. So if this sounds up your street, None of This Would Have Happened If Prince Were Alive comes out on November 22nd. So that's it. Those are the 6 books I'm super excited to come out in November. I typically don't rush out and buy new releases, but they are going on my TBR. I will be looking for them at my library. And really, I just wanted to share them so that they're on your radar as well. If you have any insight on these books and or authors, please feel free to comment down in the doodly-doo. I love talking with you guys about these books. If you are still watching at this point, please consider giving that like button a boop, and a subscribe would be wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.